it just keeps getting better and better for Marvel. Better meaning worse. I've talked about the Fantastic Four and how, we haven't had a Fantastic Four movie in over 15 years, maybe. I love those first two movies. I really enjoyed them. I loved the story. The casting was outstanding. Both movies were really good. For the life of me, I don't understand why they never carried on and why the MCU never really adopted them. And because they made decent numbers. They did well for that time. You know what I mean? That time, a movie having a budget of 50 to 80 million doing 300 million was outstanding, right? Nowadays, it's pretty much nothing, right? And so obviously, when they told us that they were going to do a new Fantastic Four movie, as a fan, we were ecstatic. But then, Marvel started doing what they've been doing for the last 5 years, ever since Endgame. And that's really, they decided to pivot and go in a different direction. And they decided to pander. They decided to introduce, I call it woketivity, into a lot of their content. And as a result of that, the results they started getting mirrored exactly that, the frustration from the fan base. You know, fans fans are very fickle. Fans are very how do I say, unforgiving when you deviate from what they're comfortable and what they love, what they know. I mean, it's one thing to take certain liberties, you know what I mean? Kind of like, you remember when Zack Snyder did his Superman and without trunks? That was the first time we saw a Superman in live action with no trunks. He decided to do that, but it worked. So sometimes directors decide and studios decide, we're going to test, we're going to challenge what we know, but they're not changing the content. They're not changing the comic accuracy of whatever character they're trying to showcase. Coming to this Fantastic Four movie, you would think Marvel, from the crap and the loss of money and revenue that they've been going through over the last 4 to 5 years, they would have learned, but they didn't. It started with, again, these are things that you should have never, and this is, I don't know if we live in an age where it's hard not to have somebody leak information, but they're the ones who decided to start leaking information. And I don't know why they thought that would actually be something good.